Hey guys, it's me, Miss Baird again. This is video number 2 for Mr. Taylor's periods 1 and 6 pre-algebra classes. And we are still working in section 1.3, and today you're going to be working with the 1.3 practice B worksheet, and for tonight you're going to be working with the 1.3 reteaching with practice worksheet. So let's get started. Okay, number 1 here says 3 to the third power minus 2 to the fourth power divided by, remember a fraction bar means division, 3 times 7 minus 2. So our order of operations says that we work with parentheses or other grouping symbols first. We can consider the numerator of a fraction as one group and the denominator of a fraction as another group. So that's what we're going to start doing. So to begin with, we're going to calculate what 3 cubed is. Remember, that's 3 times 3 times 3, and we're going to be subtracting 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and that's over 3 times 7 minus 2. So now, what is 3 times 3 times 3? 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Minus 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. Down here, 3 times 7 is 21, minus 2. Pay no attention to the cat. That's La Gata Diablo dell'Inferno. Okay, 27 minus 16 is 11. 21 minus 2 is 19, and that is our answer. Okay, now let's look at problem number 2. And problem number 2, I see we have a variable here, and we have a value for the variable. Remember that evaluate means to find the value of the expression that we are working with. So, in this equation, first of all, actually in this expression, first we are going to substitute 2/3 in for y. So we're going to write the rest of the expression first, 2/5 times. Now we're going to put in parentheses, divided by 1/5. And in our parentheses, we're going to put 2/3. There's La Gata. Okay, now let's take a look at our problem that we have right now. Remembering that our order of operations says that we multiply or divide whichever comes first when we look at it from left to right. So here we go. We're going to multiply. 2 times 2 is 4 over 5 times 3 is 15. Divided by 1/5. When we divide one fraction by another, what we really do is we need to flip the second fraction, or invert it is the big word that means flip, and change our operation to multiplication. So now we're going to have 4 over 15 times 5 over 1. And we can cross cancel. 5 goes into 5 one time and into 15 3 times. So our answer is going to be 4 over 3. And this is one time when it's okay to leave an improper fraction, because we were not told to write our answers in simplest form or to write them in mixed expressions. Okay, here is problem number 3. Problem number 3 says 3 times 6t squared, and we're told that t is equal to 1/3. So the first thing we're going to do again is we are going to write most of our problem, but we're going to put parentheses where our variable is, and then we're going to substitute. T is 1/3. So now we've got multiplication and multiplication. First, though, we have to simplify this parentheses. This is 3 times 6 and 1/3 times 1/3. 3 times 6 is 18 times, now remember when you're multiplying fractions, you multiply numerator times numerator, so 1 times 1 is 1, over 3 times 3 is 9. I want you to remember that every number in the world that I know of that can be expressed can also be written as a fraction with a denominator of 1. So now we can cancel this way too. So 9 goes into 9 once and into 18 2 times. And so our answer to this great big long problem is 2. Yay! We are halfway done. Let's flip our board over and look at problem number 4. Problem number 4 says x to the 3rd power minus x to the 2nd power. And we're told that x is 8. So to begin with, we've got x to the 3rd power minus x to the 2nd power, or 8 to the 2nd power. All right, so what we're really going to be saying is 8 times 8 times 8 minus 8 times 8. All right, so 8 times 8 times 8 minus 8 times 8. I'm going to grab my calculator from my iPad because I know that 8 times 8 is 64, but I don't know what 8 times 8 times 8 is. So, going to my handy-dandy calculator, let's clear that. 8 times 8 times 8 is 512. Minus 8 times 8 is 64. This is what calculators are really good for, is working with big numbers. 512 minus 64 is 448, and that is our answer. Yay, we're done with that. Now, a lot of you all would have thought something like the answer might be 8. But since we have 8 times 8 times 8 and 8 times 8 over here, you can't think like that. It doesn't work that way. Okay, problem number 5. 5 minus 16 divided by 4 plus 8. If you'll remember in yesterday's assignment, one of the things that you had to do was to underline the operation that should be done first. In this problem, we know that division comes before subtraction or addition. So we're going to perform this division part first. So let's write this first part, 5 minus 16 divided by 4 is 4 plus 8. This is really easy. 5 minus 4 is 1, and 1 plus 8 is 9. And we're done with that one. Now for our last problem. Our last problem for the day has quite a few different little grouping symbols and little things that we need to work with. When you have brackets and parentheses, you need to start with the innermost part and simplify within that innermost part and then work your way out. So what we're going to do first is we're going to say, okay, 8 minus 5 is 3 to the 4th power. And we're going to bring the rest of our brackets down, and that part of our problem is divided by 9 minus 5. So now we need to remember that this is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 divided by 9 minus 5. Okay, so now here's another good instance of a time when we can use a calculator. And I want to use that top calculator, and I want to clear it. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 81. So we have 81. That looks very bad. I'm going to rewrite that. 81 divided by 9, and that's inside of our brackets, minus 5. 81 divided by 9 is 9, and 9 minus 5 is 4. And that's it for the problems for today. I just want to look at your assignment with you so that you know what you are supposed to do. With these first 3 problems, you do them just the same way as we did problem 1 right here. You take your time, you write things out, you work with the numerator and then the denominator. For problems 4 through 13, I want you to remember to use parentheses when you're substituting. And I want you to take your time and work inside the parentheses first and then work out. And when you have fractions, do not be afraid of those fractions. Just work with those fractions. This is the first part of your class assignment for tomorrow. And here is the second part of your class assignment for tomorrow. These problems are somewhat more like the last 3 that we did. Now, when you come to the 1.3 Reteaching with Practice, which is your homework for block day, again, you have had problems like all of these. Just take your time. Remember the order of operations. They won't let you down. And I do want to remind you that you will have a quiz on Friday. So this is Mrs. Baird saying, I hope you have a very good day, and I'll be making another video for you very soon. Bye-bye.